We're going to talk tonight about thinking. If we can have a discussion together about thinking. Don't be so silent.
We're just thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's seldom we stop just to look out at our lives. Just look out, not look in. We've got a lot of this looking in stuff going on in the world today. Introspection and coming back into stillness and meditation and all that type of stuff. Yeah. It's okay in its own space as well. But how about looking out? Looking out through all of it. And identifying with whatever is looking out. Just for a little while before we lose that too. And we see the mind, the process going, without even being conscious of it, I suppose. As soon as we awaken in the morning, we're into our routine, which is part of our living process, and it's good. We get caught up in it. And it kind of takes us over. And whatever we're doing, whatever we're involved in, it becomes all important to us in our lives. And we seem to crash on that and circle around that. And that's where all our energy is going. And that's okay as well. There's nothing right or wrong about it, but it's just seeing it. From the deep stillness within, and when you're looking out from that very deep stillness, you see how swift everything is passing. You know, you spend years building your house, creating your home, creating your nest. And suddenly you're past it all. And the brickwork hasn't dried. Everything is moving on so fast, isn't it? And now thinking is all in relation to, I suppose, security, isn't it? How can we be secure? How can I make sure my house is comfortable around me? And yet everything is moving on so fast. Isn't it? So what is clear thinking? We have to think logically. You have to think for the ingredients of your dinner, whatever you're putting together. You have to think how to work out your day and things you have to do. It's quite natural. If you're working in research, if you're in research laboratories, people are very attentive to their thinking, to their process of what they're doing. It's clear, it's logical, they have no issue. But then when they leave it, and they sit down and have a coffee or start chatting about something else, or go back into their lives, something else takes over. If they were applying what they were applying in the laboratory to their daily lives, they wouldn't have any issues. But we don't do that. So when we're applying ourselves to our tasks at work, we're doing it efficiently, effectively, as the thoughts are being applied to, the mind is being applied to doing what you're doing. But if we ask ourselves, do we have a problem in our lives? Do you have a problem at the moment? And whatever is probleming you or disturbing you is where you're not thinking clearly, isn't it? Or you're not seeing it clearly. The mind pattern, it seems to have this inbuilt processor going on, shifting what is into what should be. And it creates a terrible unease in ourselves, doesn't it? What is, and my mind is looking at what should be. So there's a movement within me, within my whole energetic process, pushing me into what should be. And it's just a thought. It's no more than a thought. but yet it's all consuming. And then I ask myself, is this clear thinking? Can I do what I do without being driven by this what should be? Is this my problem? Like when you look at the urgencies in your life, when you look at the energy that's spilling in your daily life, this is the things you do moment by moment, day by day. That processor that's going on in the background. The mind processor. Always moving towards what should be. Isn't it? So there's never an immediacy in that space of what is. Except you get a toothache. And a bad one. And that brings you right back into what is. Because the what should be has no place, even though you're thinking it shouldn't be there, but still it's there. You cannot take your attention away from it because the pain is pulling you in. So the pain in the body tends to chuck us back from that outward thrust into what should be. And that shows us something. Do we need to have pain in the body to bring us in line with what is? And can I be fully attentive to what is? Attending to what is without movement of mind into what should be. And then if I'm painting the wall or building the house, I'm doing what I'm doing in the immediacy of doing it, but not gone ahead of myself. If they're coming to take your house away, you're in the immediacy of what's happening around you. You're not crashing on it. We all tend to crash. We all tend to lose our direction on the particular. On Friday morning I was up at 6 and I had my first presentation at 8 to 10 and went on to 2:30 and I finished. Then got a taxi to an airport where I was catching a plane to Madrid. There was an hour and 45-minute gap between the connection plane in Madrid to Dublin. But as usual, things don't work out to plan. There was a delay. There was no announcement, anything else. The delay went on for about an hour and a half. So as I took off from the first airport, it was quite obvious I was going to miss the connection. Except there was a delay on the other one. So what do you do when you're waiting? But what does the mind do? The mind will think about the time. It will set up a pattern of anxiety in the body. The body suffers, doesn't it? Does it change what is? Not one iota. But when you can see it as it is, and okay, this is it, this is how it's unfolding, should I turn back, forget it? No, just continue with it. And allow it to unfold. So you just apply yourself to the situation, do your best, and let it be. And that is something within you, in the stillness, being in command of the situation, and not the mind pattern that falls you into the anxious groove, the worry groove in your life. This is just an example. The plane landed in a very windy Madrid. It took him an extra 20 minutes to get off the runway. But as it so happened, the other plane was also delayed. And there must have been 4 or 5 minutes to spare, and I was back in the air again for Dublin. If it hadn't happened, so be it. in that way, we're not putting pressure out on our external environment. If I'm under stress, then everything I meet will be equally stressed with my presence going through it, won't it? So I'm creating a whirlwind going through other people's lives. And we have to be very attentive to the mind pattern. So the mind pattern instantly slips us into the worry zone. My daughter or son isn't home and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. They're teenagers or they're out at their party or whatever. The mind pattern was in all sorts of things. It kills some people. Worry can kill you. And what is worry? When we really look at it, without putting anything on it, we can see it's a waste of energy. And it's also a postponement of accepting what is, going around in a circle. There is concern. You can be concerned about the situation or about someone or something, but that concern will move you towards action, won't it? Picking up the phone or going out and doing something. But worry is thinking without action. So it's a circular process going on in the mind pattern. And in the world of technology, it makes it easier for us to see, because we understand computers now, we understand the memory cells of computers, we understand all the software, how systems work and how new applications can be applied. And it's all a reflection of our own thought patterns. So we can see the pattern in the computer, how you set it up. We can also see how a computer crashes when there is a dysfunction or malfunction of the works. And that gives us an image of how we crash when we're not thinking rightly. So the thought process, while it's a great utility, a necessary utility in our lives, but when it becomes the master in relation to the circumstances of our lives, it just creates disturbance. And then you are a disturber everywhere you go. Whatever you do is coming out through your presence. It's okay to talk about this. I mean, that doesn't do much good. It might bring our attention to it. But the actuality of it is seeing it in action in your life. When you allow that attentiveness, whatever it is, to be present within you, looking out, not looking in, just looking out through the thought patterns. You're looking out from the inner stillness. That's always there, by the way. This inner stillness is you behind all of this activity and all of this apparent urgency. And you're getting caught up in other mind patterns external to you, which is only an extension of your own, all entwined. And it's spinning and spinning and spinning, and all your energy is spinning until you crash, physically exhausted. This is a very potent time of the year for this type of malfunction in human consciousness. When you see the insanity and utter madness existentially of society around these so-called festivities, which is only an extension of myself. This mind gone wrong. When we really look out at it and see how naive we are in our behavioral patterns, how unevolved we are in our behavioral patterns, by falling back into the same old groove time and time again, same old worry time and time again. And as we move out of the pattern, we see it, and we think we're free from it for a while, and very, very gradually, we slip back into it again. It takes us over again. We go out of one relationship and say the next one is going to be different. And of course it'll be different for a little while, and you're back into the same pattern again. You see it in belief structures. People go out of one structure, one religion, and off to another one. They're back into it again. So is it possible, and it's only the question, is it possible to be fully attentive in our daily lives without being a victim of this pattern? Is it possible to live our lives intelligently, looking out through the pattern, leaving everything alone as it is? You're still doing what you're doing, but you're not crashing on it, you're not losing your energy on it. It's not an imperative. You're serving the moment as it arises. And there's no issue, because there's no expectation. No expectation. Is that another problem in the thinking pattern? Expectations. Perhaps that's part of this what should be. So we're caught up in expectation. I'm already in Dublin before I leave Rabat. That's my expectation. And then there's an hour and a half delay. Connections are going to be missed. Anxiety. Consternation. People pounding on desks. Why is this delay? Expressing their annoyance. When nothing can be done. Except seeing myself. I'm only asking, can it be possible to be disattentive 24/7, living our lives? Can we reach this level of attentiveness where we're not crashing on the particular? Or is it beyond our reach? And I know I'm crashing if I have a problem in my life. If I have any issue in my life that's pressing on me right now, that's where I'm not being attentive to the immediate. Even if death is approaching me right now, what is the problem? Why should I make a problem out of anything? Isn't it only when I'm not seeing it as it is, when I'm not looking intelligently at my life? All things pass away very quickly. Very quickly. When I have the house complete, I'll be happy. Houses come and go. Countries come and go. Expressions, belief structures come and go. I am. And that I that you are, which doesn't come and go. All things come and go from it. And that's just a hypothesis. So don't take it as a truth. In fact, don't believe anything. Just see it in your own experience, in the stillness of your being. I mean, how can you make love if you're not attentively present? How can you be love if you're not attentively present. Isn't this it? Is this our problem? Moving from what is into what should be through the mind pattern, which is not clear thinking. And then I have such an agenda, don't I? I have so many things to attend to. I have so many responsibilities. All this stuff. This feeling of indispensability. Unevolved consciousness. Stuck in a groove. Going round and round and round. Be still. And see it as it is. The seeing occurs through looking without a position and without expectation. No belief structures, no spirituality to a thinking pattern in any of this. Just stillness, seeing it exactly as it is. What's coming and passing. Like chalk is like a mock doing, as they say in the poem. Always coming to you and going from you. Your lovers, your children, all coming and going from you. And our gathering here is just to reawaken this attentiveness, going back into the stillness, the still point within, where you're looking out through the chaos being created by the unruly mind. Not the world, your mind. The world is as I am. I am projecting my world. How painful it is when I'm stuck in this pattern. There is no way out for the self. There is no salvation. All of that is part of the pattern. When I see it from the stillness within, looking out at it, it has no more problem in my life. You attend to your life, whatever you're doing, without an issue. Whatever is occurring, and you apply whatever you must apply to it from where you are, as it is, and everything is all right. There is time, your lover might leave you, as she has. She died of cancer. It leaves all of us, someone or other. But nobody leaves. Everything is coming and going from where you are. The love that you are. In the stillness. The body might weep, as it does. You are still in the stillness. There are no goodbyes from the stillness. Now we've all gone through a whirlpool of end of year build-up to these festivities, the whirlpool of our own circumstances, complaining to the world perhaps, and doing it all to ourselves. Do whatever you do in the attentiveness. Just know it. Just know you're doing it. Be completely spun in the mayhem. Just be it. No problem. No energy lost. So you're raising, or being raised to the crescendo of the wave, the stormy wave. And it's okay. And Christmas is okay. The madness is okay. It's all okay. You just get on with it. But you're not crashing on anything. You're not spilling any energy to it. And I'm only putting this out for my own experience, my own application. So what I'm saying is not to be believed as something. You have to see it yourself. It's your journey, your life, only you. There's no one else in there, only you. The mind thinks there's a lot in there. The mind tells you, or even it takes on the assumption of your caring immediate family, your caring immediate friends, all the things that has built around itself, this pseudo-self, who you think you are, projecting out there. Only a bubble of passing consequence. It's gone. Everything's gone. Time quickly comes. You're gone, physically gone. Whatever you perceive or project yourself to be in other people's lives, gone. What do? They get on with it. They just get on with it. They step over you, get on with it. Somebody will bury you. Quickly forgotten. Your all-important presence in what you assume are the others' lives. Quickly gone. Where is the mayhem now? Where are the problems now? You've been crashing on, smashing on, losing your energy on. This sense of all importance. How important I am to somebody else in my life. But what rubbish, or what nonsense from this thinking pattern. What irresponsibility from this thinking pattern. I do what I did as a human being, speaking within all of us. Just doing it rightly, attending to what is, without expectation. Do I know love? Is there expectation? You hurt my feelings. Expectation. That's not love. Can I love without expectation? And we're talking here about everyone, your friends, your parents, your children, your lovers, everyone in your life. Can I just be from this stillness without any expectation of appreciation or thank you or anything else or something back? Can I be this level of attentiveness and the stillness within me that I'm not crashing on the particular, that I'm not caught up in this torrent wave of crazy thinking? Can I be in this place of aloneness within, where you are anyway, totally alone in there? You're only in there in that body looking out, nobody else, nothing else. Ah, but what about my children, my family and everything else? Are they in there? Your life in there, the only life there is in there. Can I just be that? Can I just come from that space each moment in my life? Attentively, with no expectation, because no expectation is needed. I am life. No expectation needed. Then the body does what it does, attentively. You will take care of family, friends, situations, society attentively, without expectation, but with responsibility. Can I hold this attentiveness? Not even hold it, but be it unconditionally. Or do I have to be stuck in the spin? And this is awakening the consciousness to my true nature behind the projecting chaos. The world is chaos because the mind is chaos. The world is the projection of the mind. It's not external to you. And it takes an enormous swiftness to see that. And when I can see it in the attentiveness of my being, when you can see if I am a Jew or a Palestinian Arab, a Muslim, I am one and the same. There is no other. The conflict arises in my foolishness, crashing on the spin of the projecting consciousness, which is the mind, which is the chaos. That's coming right back into me in my daily life. And the only place I can correct it is in myself. And if I am responsible, I look into myself, say, where is the problem in my life? What is the disturbance in me? Whatever that disturbance is the most immediate, where you're not being true to what is. You're stuck in your assumptions of the spinning pattern, gone out into the chaos that the mind is creating. And out of that is the existential world. Can I look at my problem? But I'm looking from a position. We're still in the superficial. Very difficult to get out of the position, isn't it, when you're out there in the chaos? The mind is always taking a position on something. And the position is my condition that I have fostered on my journey. I am the accumulation of this condition and this point in time projected. Can I see that? There is a severing in the seeing. It's like that cord tying you to it. At the point of seeing, truly seeing from the stillness, that cord can snap. And when it snaps, it's gone. It's dissolved. As are all the problems you're making in your life. And this is instant. It's not something to be attained or worked at, which the mind will foolishly apply and create other disturbances along the way. It's instant when it's seen. But I cannot see it when I'm looking from a position. The position of my mind, of how I think it is. It's the very same condition all over the world. Every race and every society, through every belief structure, it's the very same condition. And I'm only speaking on it looking out. I see with a group of Muslim students speaking to their culture and their religion, it's exactly the same. Exactly the same as it is here with us. The first movement out, we're into the mind pattern. And then we're projecting that from our position. And that's our entrapment. And from that we create conflict. The first conflict is myself and me, between what is and what I think should be. This urgency to change what is. And things change, things have to change by the nature of things. In the creation, it's a continuous change. Everything is changing on its own accord. The only consistency is change. So what am I trying to do it? It's changing anyway. It's all progressing accordingly. In this great explosion of life, that's perpetually exploding out of the stillness, the still point within. We spend a year going through a meditation practice. Now the meditation practice is only specifically bringing us back from our thought patterns, back into a point of stillness within us. Just a little cultivation to create a ground from where we can look for now. But that's not it. It's only part of a correction mechanism, you could say. What is immediate. And meditation practices are good. Anything like that is good. It all serves its purpose. But we're talking about something more than that, deeper than that. We're talking from a still point within your being, where there is no you. There is no person. There is no entity. Where there is absolutely nothing. That's getting behind the projector. No soul, no savior, no belief structures, nothing to be saved, nothing. You're just looking out through the projector at what appears to be something and observing it as it's happening around you. Spinning, spinning, spinning. What is? Evolving into what is. Always evolving into what is. Never into what should be. And in the mind pattern, spinning through that into what should be. And here you are crashing in this personality you have taken on. So there is an intelligence, a deep intelligence, and just allowing the intelligence to do its work at this stage, which is also an arrogant statement of this pretentious self, who has no power to allow anything, only thinks he has. The intelligence is there anyway. Myself is coming and going all the time. It's not even there 24 hours. In 4 or 5 hours time it will be gone again into sleep or something else. Back again after another 6 or 7 hours. Wake up. Mind kicks in. Split second later. Oh, my most pressing problem. Crashing back in again. Out I go into the world, creating more disturbance. Isn't that it? Isn't that the behavior pattern of this thinking process? There is nothing in the mind that's new under the sun. There's nothing new about you or me. There's nothing special, unique. It's just the whole conglomeration. One big pot of worms whirling about, all more or less the same. In every culture, every society, more or less the same. And each one crashing on the particular. Each one worried senseless about his or her problem. Wasting energy and creating more. Not that energy is wasted. Just a movement and a rest. The woman came, she loved, she taught the man how to love, then she passed on, died, but the love that she is. If the man is attentive enough, he sees that. No issue, no problem. No inner disturbance adding to the chaos of the world. Just let it be as it is. If your energy is draining, you are the problem. All energy balances in this creation as it's been projected. True, the body gets tired quite naturally. But if your energy is draining, you are the problem. Everything is interactive, interrelated. Even energy, what flows out, flows back in, like the tide. In the course of your day, in the course of your work, in the course of your relationships, energy flowing freely, there is no draining, there is no exhaustion. When you're attentive, only when you're attentive. But when I'm not attentive, I get very quickly exhausted, don't I? My energy spills. My cup is empty. Listening. The attentiveness in listening. Listening to the sound of the creation in your immediacy. You cannot listen when you're caught up in the thought pattern. You don't see anything when you're caught up in the thought pattern. That circular motion of thinking and worrying and concern and not being able to get there fast enough. All being missed. The sheer beauty, ecstasy, love that life is in the moment being missed. I'm pushing out there a projection of an image of who I think I am, who I want to appear to be to others. Being a good parent, being a good spouse, being a good whatever. Burning and wasting my energy on an image that's suddenly gone. You're only as good as your last mistake, man and woman. That's what you're measured on. Your last mistake. And what appears to be good here might appear to be a mistake over here. So here you are spilling on this projected image. what you want to appear to be. Irresponsible to what is. I love you. I put nothing on you. No expectation. Isn't that your true nature? Absolutely no expectation. Just as it is. Whatever you do, you do. I am as I am. No expectation. Can I see in the attentiveness the condition I put upon my love? Within myself. I love you because. Even on my child. Can I be swift enough to just see it, catch it in myself, just in myself? And can I live my life in this stillness, in this attentiveness? Now, I am being responsible. Am I not? Only now. Without this attentiveness, I'm just another part of the chaos, another part of the spin. Moulding my children into more of it, more chaos, more spin. Being a light unto yourself is being a light unto others. But first you must be a light unto yourself. From the stillness, looking out at yourself. Not at others, at yourself. From the stillness, looking out. Not looking in at yourself. Looking out at yourself, seeing yourself in motion, seeing this person, persona, this parent, this lover, this son, whatever this self is, just seeing it in motion, looking out, being attentive to that, seeing, without movement of thought. Because the movement of thought is part of that existential self. Thought is the external, thought is a material process. It's part of the existential, part of what's going outside. Just seeing it in motion, looking out. Being attentive to that. Seeing. And that's being responsible. Then you're sitting among others celebrating their festivities or whatever they're doing according to their customs or desires. But you're not crashing on it. You're not fulfilling expectations in your own being or in anyone else's. You are being responsible where you are, doing what you're doing. Naturally. And where others might appear to be irresponsible, they see the light of your presence. Unknowingly, possibly, but it's there. That's how it works behind the pattern. And that's right thinking. And the indicator is the problems in your life. Where you have any problem or any issue, you are not being responsible. You are not being attentive. That's all it is. It's nothing to do external to you. It's no external cause. Whatever problem is where you are not being attentive. As I said, even if death is calling to you right now, and you might say, that's external to me. The problem is not external. The problem is you not accepting your life as it is. Seeing it as it is. Only myself makes a problem of it, isn't it? And that's the speed of attentiveness we're talking about in right thinking. And we're not talking about something that's impossible or that's too far out there. We're talking about something that is immediate now to you and I. We can apply this to our lives every moment in our attentiveness. We can pull back from the chaos, the chaotic mind that's driving us crazy. Any questions?
Just on the expectation and projection thing, I understand it, but my biggest problem would be the reaction to myself. My reaction to, let's say, someone's expecting or projecting something else. I get myself caught on that one the whole time. I know I have to own it myself. That makes sense to you?
When you're out there on the external trying to fix it, and that's what we're talking through that. We're talking through all of that, just seeing it and not moving on it. When myself is there doing all this work trying to fix it, it's only creating more of the chaos. In stillness, seeing it, just allow the stillness to be. Externally, there is this self that's creating all this chaos and then trying to heal the chaos it's creating even within itself. And there is no healing it. We're talking about the stillness behind it, just seeing it. I'm banging my head off the wall. But when I'm suddenly aware of what I'm doing, and I see it, I automatically stop banging my head off the wall. But I can't fix it. Myself is trying to fix it. Myself is trying to correct it, but myself is the issue. So there is no fixing this, there is no healing or mending it. There is no process involved in this. If there's a process, well then it's not the reality. It has to be immediate. In seeing it. Because when you see it, instantly you see it. And it's gone. But the other is a process. There is no process. There's no seeing. I'm seeing the pattern of thought. I'm seeing how the pattern of thought functions. I see it's the human consciousness, it's the human condition. It's in all of us. And I'm trapped in this pattern of thinking, chaotic thinking, fixing, healing, mending, shifting, churning. And I am the chaos. It's myself is the chaos. I am creating it and trying to fix it. Whereas in the immediacy of seeing it and not moving on it, just letting it go. I cannot let it go, but it's myself. But there is a seeing within me through looking from a still point that suddenly snaps, it's gone. But I can't do it the other way. There is no fixing it. There is no end to the fixing it because it's spinning itself. That's the chaos of the world. And it's going out from myself, outside of me into my immediate group, my society, further out into the world, and we have countries killing each other. I was surrounded by a group of young women in their 40s outside this little market area in the country outside the town in Morocco, dressed in black, tall, slim, lovely, lovely women. They were very respectable looking women, and they were asking for help, for money. You know, they said they're Syrian. We all know the terrible atrocities happening in Syria. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying to them, and they could speak English, how can I help you? And how can I do anything for you when you're doing it yourselves? And that's what we're doing. We're doing it to ourselves. I can't help you. You're doing it yourself. These lovely women, and they all have their sons and their husbands and their brothers who are over there killing one another in the most terrible, terrible ways. You see the chaos we're creating. There is no helping externally or fixing. All the driving forces of the world, humanitarianism is trying to come in and do the best they can to mend it as best they can, while there is more of it just being procreated continuously in this terrible, terrible mess. And that's going out and seeing how irresponsible it is. And it's all starting in myself. It's not them, it's myself. I am here doing this spin. I am here caught up in this chaos, creating more of it in myself. This is where it has to be corrected. In myself. How does that affect Syria? Of course it affects Syria. It affects everything in the world. Because we're also interconnected. My responsibility is to this projected consciousness of this self that's here external to me, myself. Can I be swift enough to see it? Can you go back, woman, to Syria? See it. Just in the stillness of seeing it. It stops. The chaos stops. That's the extent of it in the world. And how terrible it is when your city and your home is torn apart with bombs and mayhem and factions, fighting factions. Because that's our thought pattern. It's just a faction. It's a fragment. Just one little fragment spinning off into itself, creating chaos at the expense of other fragments, all crashing and smashing off one another. Why am I contributing to this madness? Only because I'm crashing on the particular. So I'm tied up in my little world, in my little fragment. Seeing it as it is. Seeing it exactly as it is, without movement. It dissolves. What dissolves? The chaos I'm pushing outward. The chaos that's rising through me, trying to fix it, dissolves. So can I come out of my little groove? Can I just let it go? Can I stop this crashing on my little particular world? That's a passing occurrence anyway. It's gone in an instant. When you open up your consciousness, just opening it up a little to the epochal nature of vision, it's just a flash. 10 years, 20 years, it's just a flash. Just let the vision open and you see it all. Why are you looking into a little jar, which is your world? You see how the mind pattern takes us? How it spins us into the particular, the all chaotic importance of my little corner. And my vision is gone. My stillness is gone. And I'm those lovely demented women, bless them in their pain and their agony, having to go out and try and beg or ask for help. Help us, whatever way you can. It's my dementedness, my world. This vision is with all of us when we just pull back from the particular. We just let go. Why be the chaos? Unless you can't see it, of course. Like those poor demented men in Syria, all fighting just causes, all killing each other. All of this utter chaos, insanity. In myself. In myself. I have to see it in myself. The seeing dissolves it. Not myself. Myself is the chaos. Whether it's a nice, comfortable, higher self, a good, warm, wrapped Christian self, a cozy, God-chosen Jewish self, all the same, all chaos. All the madness of the projection. Surrender. Can I surrender myself? And even if I can come this far to surrender myself to the greater good by pulling back from my chaos, can I then surrender myself from the obnoxiousness of thinking I am something to be surrendered, or I have power to surrender? Who am I? What am I? What have I got that's mine? What can I claim as my own? Is there anything that you are that is your own? Anything? Can we wake up to that fact? That is? There is nothing you can claim that's your own, not even your body. It's not your own. But I think it is, don't I? These are my shoes. There's nothing your own. Can I speed up to this intelligence of seeing that? Just seeing it. And can I just be that nothing? Whatever it is. Without issue. Perhaps then I'm not contributing. Or now I'm not contributing to the chaos. And perhaps now you're a light unto yourself. And being a light unto yourself, you're a light unto others. And your very presence, whatever that presence is, allows others to see it in themselves. And they too pull back from their madness to chaos of killing one another, which we are doing right here. Oh no, but we're not doing it like they're doing it in Syria. It's only a matter of degree. The pattern is exactly the same. You're looking out, it is exactly the same. It's only a matter of degree. Can't see that though. No, that's not pleasant. No. Myself is very choosy what it wants to see, isn't it? Very selective, myself is what it wants to see and accept about itself. Myself says, oh no, I'm a good person. I abide by the rules and regulations. I respect my neighbour and all this stuff. Yeah. That's myself, isn't it? It's only a matter of degree. You're looking across all of it. The poor demented human beings, these war-torn countries, killing each other in the street, and the mayhem, anguish and sadness. See them coming in from Mali, coming up from Central Africa, just coming up for breathing space, walking in the streets. And the terrible, terrible agony burning out through them, and anger and hate. It's not, you cannot disguise it. And the war-torn veterans going back to the USA, being dumped on the wayside after doing their 7 or 8 or 9 years of palliative service. Just dumped on the wayside. An embarrassment to the society that spawned them. That's you and me. That's how we are. And we're talking tonight about thinking, the thinking pattern, and looking out at myself. Not looking in, but looking out at myself. But first, I have to let go of myself, don't I? When I'm outside looking in, I'm doing a lot of fixing and mending and patching and shaping and creating more disturbance. Just getting my life right, being attentive from the stillness, whatever issue I have in my life, being intelligent enough, or with the intelligence of knowing that I am creating that disturbance in my life. Whatever problem is in my life, being with the intelligence in knowing that I am creating that problem. Not my son, my daughter, or my spouse, or somebody else, or them over there. I am creating the problem. What is. It's only myself makes a problem of it. If my lover is abusing me and causing me physical pain and anguish, that is the action that's happening out there. I am the one that's creating the problem of it. If the intelligence within me is looking at it, the intelligence moves my body out of the situation into another space, another place. The intelligence moves me along according to the situation. Myself makes the problem of it. Isn't that it? So whatever is wrong in my life is myself. Only myself. Nothing external to myself. Only myself. How do I fix myself? You don't fix yourself. There is no fixing self. There's only seeing it as it is. Just seeing it. Letting the intelligence be. Seeing it. Then it is all this. But sorry self, I can't give you any remedy to fix yourself. There's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing anyone can do for you. There's nothing God can do for you. Self. Just let the intelligence see it. Then there is no problem. Can I be one with the intelligence? Not myself. Just see how this resonates in your own being, in your own experience. It's nothing that the speaker is saying, but it's what's resonating in your being, in your experience. That's where the truth lies. That's where the reality is. Externally, we're just mirrors. Thank us all for participating in this and being here. And all I can say coming in and out of this is to pull back into the stillness. Just in the course of the working day, in the middle of chaos when it arises in your life, just be still. Just for a few moments be still. Pull back. Just drop everything. Let everything be. Take that pause. Be still. And just let the energy, the pure energies well up in your being. It's called well-being. You're cleaning the windows, you're reaching up. For a moment, be still. Let the energy just well up, replenish your being, the beingness that you are. Breathing in, breathing out, the fingers open, holding on to nothing, letting everything be in this blessed creation. That is you. Bring that back into your work. But plug in. Plug in continuously during the day when your attention falls on it. And you will find the expansiveness rising in you. You will find the vision opening. You will find it in your experience, which is there because you know it. But we get clouded over. And that's what the meditation practices for the year has been all about. Just fighting and battling against that external crashing we are in the particular. Just kind of bringing us back into a space that there is something more than this. But you're there. You're there now. So your meditation is 24/7. When you're tasting the food, you're fully attentive. And that is your gratitude. As you're saying thank you. Thank you. Always instead of thank you. Thank you, lad. Nothing in particular. Thank you, God, if you wish. Nothing in particular. Just being in that place of, wow, thank you. And the attentiveness. It's a continuous thank you, isn't it? Even if you've crashed your car, or you're facing death, it's still there. Oh, thank you. You've tapped into the universal energy, the endless reservoir. You're not wearing down the body and crashing. Whatever you're doing, you are the universal energy. It's flowing through you. No thought pattern sucking it and crashing it. Thought pattern is the fragmentation of myself, my little world, my little cut dot. I have to build, work, store, grab, plunder, take. And the world will smash me for that. The intelligence sees it. The intelligence that you are sees it. Not myself. Higher self, lower self, whatever self. Not myself. Doing that, you can continue with your work, continue whatever you're doing, continue with your life, whatever it is, without crashing on it. The energy of the creation flows back equally to you when you're not fragmented. one play, go into one connectedness. Only when I'm fragmented in myself, which is myself, I'm gone. And now I've got to steal energy. I've got to steal it from others, I've got to steal it from wherever I can get it. I've got to steal it by satisfying this beast of myself. And it's never enough. The intelligence sees it. Your intelligence. Thank you for coming and for partaking. Even in silence you're partaking. Because you're not here to believe anything a speaker is speaking about. You're resonating what's that is in you. It's your truth. Do you want to go into stillness for a few minutes? And this is just allowing the energy to recede back into the body, back into the center of our being. And we do it by putting our attentiveness on the sensation of life on the flesh of the body. This body is external to you. Just being conscious of the sensation on the countenance, around the lips, and resting peacefully with the body straight. Letting the attentiveness be in the body, the shoulders, the stomach as the psychic furnace. We are coming out through the stomach, through the food that we take. That's nurturing the body frame, the body. That's giving us life, immediate. Just seeing it attentively. Letting tensions fall from the shoulders. Gently into the stomach to be absorbed. It's just all a cyclical process. And gently coming in behind the furnace of the stomach. Just gently coming deep into inner space. That point of formless life that I am in the body, listening, as in the body speaking. And just being in the beauty of this attentiveness, formless life. Seeing all things coming and going from me. No movement, just rest. And from this space, letting everything go. All that has been spoken and all that has been heard, just letting it go, knowing that it's being done. this stillness with us wherever we go. Thank you all.